Hello everyone, this is Showtime 112. Hermann Göring stands out as one of history's most notorious figures. His infamy as one of the Nazi leaders is well known, and we won't be covering that here. So, if you're an extraterrestrial or part of Gen Z, you might want to hit up Google for the basics. But if you're more than just a casual history buff, you probably know that Göring was also a World War I fighter ace. But do you know exactly how many victories he's credited with? Which planes did he actually fly, and which enemy aircraft did he face in combat? Did he ever score a victory in the legendary Fokker triplane? And how many of his confirmed kills line up with British and French records? If you're curious about these kinds of details, you're in the right place. This video is for you. Let's be clear, the goal here isn't to glorify a convicted war criminal. Instead, we are here to show that history is full of layers and unexpected stories, and sometimes the lesser-known facts are the most fascinating. Göring was born in 1893. His father was a former army officer, and he served as Governor-General of German Southwestern Africa. As a child, young Hermann actually lived in a real medieval castle, owned by his godfather, Hermann Eppenstein, a wealthy physician of Jewish descent. Surrounded by such influences, it's no surprise that Göring developed an early interest in the military. At just 16, he was sent off to a military academy in Berlin. When World War I broke out, Göring was a young infantry lieutenant. He spent the first 7 weeks of the war as a company commander, locked in fierce fighting against the French. But by late September 1914, his infantry career came to a sudden halt due to severe knee pain from rheumatoid arthritis, a condition he'd battled before but which became unbearable under the harsh conditions of war. That's when Göring's friend Bruno Lörzer stepped in with a solution. Lörzer had already joined the fledgling Fliegertruppen, the German air service, and invited Göring to join him as his observer. Junior officers couldn't just transfer on a whim, but Göring called in a favor from his influential godfather, Dr. Eppenstein, and soon found himself flying as Lörzer's observer with Feldfliegerabteilung 25, or Field Flying Section 25. They flew the Aviatik B-2, a two-seater biplane used mainly for reconnaissance and early bombing runs. Even at this point, Göring showed a flair for exaggeration in his mission reports. The arrival of the new Fokker Eindecker with its synchronized machine gun firing through the propeller was apparently the motivation Göring needed to apply for pilot training. He earned his wings in September 1915. After just one flight in the Fokker monoplane and without proper authorization, he returned to his old unit, this time as a pilot flying the Albatros C-1, a two-seat reconnaissance plane armed with a defensive machine gun, but sometimes also with a forward-firing one. Göring claimed his first aerial victory as a pilot on November 16, 1915, downing a French Maurice Farman MF-7 biplane, a claim that was officially confirmed, though French records don't show a matching loss. Göring saw action over Verdun in 1916, and on March 14, he claimed the second kill, this time flying the new twin-engine AEG G2, technically a bomber. His target was the French Caudron G4, which force-landed in German-held territory, and its crew was captured. Göring was credited with the victory, even though his backseater fired the shots. Göring had no machine gun in the front. 2 confirmed kills were impressive for a reconnaissance pilot, but the real glory went to single-seat fighter aces like Oswald Belke and Max Immelmann. Ambitious as ever, Göring was determined to join their ranks. On July 9, 1916, he finally got his chance to fly a single-seat fighter, not the famous Fokker monoplane, which by then was almost as dangerous for its pilots as for the enemy, but the Halberstadt D-2. This lesser-known fighter had better performance than the Fokker Eindecker, and its stationary engine offered advantages over Fokker's troubled rotary engine. The Halberstadt was also quite maneuverable and good in a dive. Göring's first claim as a single-seat pilot came on July 15, 1916, against the French Voisin biplane, but it went unconfirmed. On July 30, however, he claimed and was credited with shooting down the French Caudron G4, a victory that matches French loss records. In October 1916, Göring transferred to the newly formed Jagdstaffel, or Fighter Squadron 5, supporting German forces during the Battle of the Somme. From this point, his main opponents were British pilots. On November 2nd, Göring found himself in a dramatic dogfight, detailed in both his biographies. In the 1932 account, Göring and two other German pilots were hunting for a large British bomber in hazy weather. Göring spotted the target, but his wingman turned back, leaving him alone and unaware of at least 20 enemy fighters lurking above. He dove on the bomber, wounding the gunner and two replacements. He then damaged one of the bomber's engines, forcing it to turn for home in a gliding mode. Suddenly, a dozen British single-seat fighters attacked. Göring's Halberstadt took multiple hits, and he was wounded in the hip. With ammo running low, he dove, escaped in the mist, and managed to land near a cemetery with a church-turned-field hospital, briefly losing consciousness in the process. His 1937 biography omits the melodramatic cemetery landing, while the official report claims he attacked an enemy biplane and was set upon by just 6 fighters. The bomber he attacked was almost certainly not the Handley Page Type O, as Göring suggested, but a much smaller BE-2D, which was indeed shot down in the area around that time. The pilot, Sergeant Cecil Bromley, later died of his wounds. Both sides lost the plane, but neither Göring nor the British pilots received an official victory credit. Aerial combat history is full of such discrepancies. Many confirmed victories can't be matched with enemy loss records, and sometimes, as in this case, victories go uncredited due to lack of witnesses or physical evidence. Göring spent several months recovering from his wounds and doing ground duty. Once again, his friend Lürzer, now commanding Jagdstaffel 26, pulled strings to get Göring assigned to his unit. Now flying the new Albatros D3, which boasted improved performance and firepower, Göring struggled for success until April 1917, a period known as Bloody April, when the British Royal Flying Corps and Royal Navy Air Service lost a third of their airmen at the front. On April 23rd, clear skies set the stage for a major British offensive, with intense aerial activity near Arras. Lürzer sent out a fighter patrol at 4:30 p.m., including Göring. During the flight of nearly 200 kilometers and 2 hours in the air, Göring's group encountered 4 British Fe-2B biplanes. Göring damaged one, forcing it to crash land on the British side, but with enough German witnesses to confirm his victory. Göring claimed another kill on April 28, 1917, when his flight attacked a group of 6 Sopwith two-seaters. His target crashed behind German lines near San Quentin. Another Sopwith went down behind British lines. 2 German pilots were credited with victories, but British records show only one loss: the Sopwith Strutter, flown by 2nd Lieutenant Clifford Rees and aircraftsman 2nd Class William Moult, who were captured. It's likely that Göring was the one who shot them down. Although the Germans didn't officially recognize pilots with 5 victories as aces, such a title is now generally accepted, and Göring's kill on April 28, 1917 marks the point where he earned that title. He went on to achieve many more aerial victories and gained considerable fame. We'll probably dive deeper into this topic in future videos. Let us know in the comments what you think about World War I content on this channel. Do you want to see more stories from the Great War? Thanks for watching and keep tuning in to Showtime 112.